Hello, I want to talk today about epigenetics. It's something that I use to help heal myself, move on from my trauma, and become a better person, the authentic person that I really want to be and who I am today. So epigenetics describes the inheritable changes in your genes that you can create just by changing your mindset, your environment, and your thoughts. Um, so what we have believed about our genes is that they're unchangeable. How many times have you heard someone say, "Well, I can't do that because it's genetic, or it's hereditary," but those only describe the habits and thoughts that are hereditary and genetic, because we tend to repeat what our parents do. We repeat the thoughts, the sayings, the unhealthy coping mechanisms that our parents often used. But we can change that. So, the way that I personally did it, one thing I did was affirmations. And trust me, in the beginning, affirmations were very, very cheesy to me. I hated saying them, I hated repeating them, and I didn't think they were going to work. But the brain works in such a way that it believes the repeated messaging. So if you hear a message enough times, your brain will start to believe it and you will start to believe it. How many times did you hear from your parents, like, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're never going to amount to anything? Or maybe you heard, that's just the way life is, get used to it, and you'll never be this person, or you'll never have that career. These are repeated messages we hear and we believe them, and it almost becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that we don't do the things we want to do because we hear those repeated messages. Well, let's hack that and use it to our own advantage. So sometimes people talk about things like angel numbers, which are repeated numbers like 111, 333, even 666. But each of those can be allocated to a positive affirmation. For me, when I see 111, I say, I trust my intuition. 222 is I trust the universe. 666 is I am focused. It has nothing to do with devil numbers. 999, I am open to new beginnings. So every time you see those numbers, whether it be on your speedometer, whether it comes up on the time, oh, it's 2:22 p.m. I trust the universe. And over time, you will eventually start to believe those messages. Another thing I did was engage in copious amounts of self-care. And by copious, I mean copious amounts. If you've been in abusive relationships, if you've grown up in an abusive household, your self-care is likely on the bar is on the ground, right? You have very little self-care. Maybe you don't shower enough. Maybe you don't brush your teeth as often as you should. Maybe you don't engage in happy activities that make your soul sing. And those are the things that help bring you joy. Repeating affirmations and engaging in lots of self-care will help raise your self-value, raise your self-esteem, and realize that you're worthy of a person to live this healthy life, this authentic life that you've always wanted. You focus on your goals more, you disregard the relationships that bring you stress. And when it comes to relationships and environment, I realize there are people that in places that are hard to fix or remove or change, but you do your best in the situation that you have. If you're living, for example, with an ex and you can't seem to get away because life is very, very expensive, limit your time at home. Move in with a friend and just remind yourself that everything is temporary. This situation will not last forever. If you're working at a dead-end job that you don't really particularly like, again, this is temporarily. You can look for a new position. You can pick up a side hustle to help bring in more money to help pay for a new place to live. There are always options out there, and people tend to come up with excuses not to do something because the journey to get to their end goal is uncomfortable. It's hard. It's more, it would make them unhappy. It's more stressful. But then you got to kind of ask yourself, what's more stressful, staying where you are or going through the stress to get the steps that you need to get to where you want to be? You get to decide. So if you repeat affirmations and you start engaging in self-care, looking after your body, mind, and soul, if you do that for 4 to 6 weeks, you're going to see a change in your mindset. You're going to see a change in your thoughts. Maybe they'll be happier. Maybe they'll be more aligned with the person that you want to be. I previously posted the self-love meditation about your authentic self. That's essentially the person you want to be. And by doing these things, you eventually become that person. In my own experience, um, you know, my authentic self, fit, healthy, living her truth, um, engaging in deep conversations with people. And it's taken 2 to 3 years to finally get there, but this is where I am now. And you can't not do something just because it'll take a lot of time. The time's going to pass anyway. Would you rather have the time pass while doing the things that you enjoy, while doing the things that'll bring you happiness, or are you going to continue to stay stuck in the situations that you are in? Everything around you helps to create your reality. So the air you breathe, the water you drink, the thoughts you think, feelings you feel, exercise that you do, the lifestyle you live, they all influence your genetic expression. So if you start doing the things that bring you happiness, you will start to find happiness everywhere. And I quite often post on TikTok and on Instagram little really tiny things that make me happy. For example, today when I came back from the store and I'm unloading the car, it's been raining a lot and there's all these little tiny puddles outside my house. And there was a little tiny sparrow bathing in the sun in the puddle. And it's a very, very small thing, but it made me smile. Finding the little joys is what makes life worth living. Having that perfectly made cup of tea, having a hot, quiet bubble bath, going for a walk in nature. These are the things that make life worth living. And for me personally, I love engaging in deep conversations with people. I love talking about how we can increase the vibration of humanity. How can we heal humanity? How can we make the world a better place for our children and our grandchildren? We are not victims of our genes. Our perception is awareness, shaped by beliefs, and beliefs control perception. If you rewrite your beliefs, you rewrite your perception. And rewrite perception, you rewrite your genes and behavior. You are free to change how you respond to the world. So as you change the way you see yourself in the world, you change your entire genetic expression. You are not stuck in your genetics. You are not stuck in your inherited habits and your thoughts. You get to choose what kind of life you want to live, and you can choose to step away from those thoughts and activities and people and environments that keep you stuck in this negative and unhealthy cycle. I also like to use the analogy of the path. If you've ever seen an animal tied up, you see a dog, and it has a certain area that it can go when it's tied up, and it gets stuck. It can't go any further. It can't go anywhere else. It can only do what's on that path. But we have the choice that we can see a chance to take ourselves off that chain and see a different pathway. It might be scary. Yeah, it's new and it's very different, but there are so many options and opportunities out there if you choose just to break the chain. I hope this video has made you think a little bit. I hope that you realize how special you are and that you're important to the world. Even if you are just one of 8.5 billion people, every single person matters. Your thoughts, your opinions, your feelings, everything matters. Just make sure that you're doing everything out of love and for betterment. I love you. You are worthy.